Alaikum, brothers and sisters. Okay, basically I'm watching this video. I want to react to this video here. It's from this channel, Mohamed hijab, and a lot of you know him. Okay, the video is called The Extreme Consequences of Believing in Quran Only. So what it is, this guy here, he believes in a Quran only. And Mohamed hijab, okay, he's going to tell him why it's wrong, okay? Now, just bear with me.
This is going to sound quite scary for you right now, yeah? The reason why it's haram to have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old is not found in the Quran whatsoever. It's found in the Sunnah, and in fact, if you look just...
So basically what he's saying, there isn't in the Quran anywhere tells you not to marry a kid, a child, okay? That's what he's saying. So, but you can find this in the Sunnah, which is hadith, right? When you say Sunnah, is hadith, which is stories from, not hadiths, okay? Just like from one person to another, from one human being to another until today. So, the Book of Allah doesn't tell you not to marry kids, okay? The God Almighty, okay? He didn't tell you in his Quran, didn't tell you in the Quran that you can marry kids, basically. That's what he's trying to say. Okay.
You will get the indication that you can have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old. And I'll tell you why. And I'll give you... Hold on.
And not only the Quran doesn't tell you can't marry a 5-year-old, but it's actually, it makes you feel like it's okay. Okay, the Quran allows it in a way. That's what he's trying to say. Okay.
I'm saying this, and I'm going to back it up with evidences. Let me repeat my point.
Let's hear.
We both agree that it's haram and it's wrong to have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old. Okay, good. My premise today, my thesis today is as follows. The reason why it's haram to have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old is not found in the Quran at all, but is in fact found in the Sunnah. Okay, and listen, if you just read the Quran, it is halal, it would be halal to have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old. Tell me how and why. In Surah Al-Talaq, chapter 65, verse 4, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us who you can divorce and who you cannot divorce. And then he says, وَاللَّائِ لَمْ يَحِدْنَ.
Okay, stop there for a second. As he actually started the verse, the ayah, from the wrong point, alright? He started it from the middle. He was right there, chopped the ayah, and then he just gave it, you understand? So you need to know what's in before. I'm coming to that though. I'm coming to that.
وَاللَّائِ لَمْ يَحِدْنَ. And the ones who had never been pubescent before.
Okay, now I've got to stop him here because what it is claiming that's what it is. Allati lam yahidn, or the one didn't have like a period, okay? They never had period, he said, okay? Never. So he added never had period and he added before to the verse, okay? Because it's not in the verse, okay? Let's wait and see. Let's hear him.
Talaq, chapter 55, verse 4. وَاللَّائِ لَمْ يَحِدْنَ. Now the word lam in Arabic, it's what you call حرف نهي للماضي, which means that it's something, a negative term for the past tense. The Mufassirun, they say about this term, about this verse, it talks about breastfeeding women, because when you're breastfeeding you obviously can't menstruate. And it also talks about pregnant women, obviously you don't menstruate. However, at the same time... Yeah. Yes, it does. I'm just...
No. Let me read it out for non-speaking Arabs here. Surah 65.
Okay, the verse he's talking about, the full verse of what he's talking about is from chapter 65, verse 1, Surah Al-Talaq. I'm going to read it in Arabic so you understand, and then I'm going to read it in English as well. وَلَا يَئِسْنَ مِنَ الْمَحِيضِ مِنْ نِسَائِكُمْ إِنْ ارْتَبْتُمْ فَعِدَّتُهُنَّ ثَلَاثَةَ أَشْهُرٍ. He's talking about women with menopause here, okay? So we have to wait. When women get to the age of menopause, we have to wait before we divorce them 3 months, okay? Because we don't know. They could get pregnant. Okay. أشهر. And then he went to اللاتي لم يحضن. But he stopped there, okay? He stopped there. واللاتي لم يحضن, and he said, this is it. This is the kids. This is where the Quran allows it for you to marry a kid. But he didn't finish the whole verse. The whole ayah, okay? The ayah says, واللاتي لم يحضن وأولات الأحمال. The wa, it's them together. These two category of women, okay? أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن ومن يتق الله يجعل له من أمره يسرا. That means, what is actually the verse saying, I'm going to read it in English. What the verse is saying, the women that reach menopause, we have to give them 3 months, okay? 3 months before we divorce them. But the women that didn't have a period, okay, and the women that they are pregnant, both of them, right, we have to wait until they actually have the babies. By this, it means اللاتي لم يحضن, that we don't know. They haven't had a period, but we're not sure if they are pregnant or not. Okay? And the one, أولات الأحمال, the pregnant one, we already know they are pregnant. That is the difference. I'm going to read it in English. Okay? As for women who have reached menopause, if you have any doubts, their interim should be 3 months. As for those who do not menstruate and discover that they are pregnant, okay, their interim ends upon giving birth. Okay? It is clear. It is absolutely clear. Okay? But this guy is adding things to the verse when he says, okay, when he says before. You see what I'm saying? He said, what he said, the ones that didn't have a period before, ever before, and he added that before, and the verse doesn't say before. You understand that? It does not say before. If you put before there, you change the whole thing. And that's why the beauty of the Quran, you can't change anything. You can't touch it. You can't, because the whole thing will change to something evil. Do you understand? Let's just carry on, because let's carry on.
As for the women who have reached menopause,
Yes,
if you have any doubts, the interim shall be 3 months.
Yeah.
As for those whose menstruation has ceased,
Okay, good.
those who are
This is it. Good.
the interim is until they give birth.
This is the verse. This is the
Anyone
verse.
who reverences Allah, he makes his matters.
واللائي يئسن من المحيض من نسائكم فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحضن. واللائي لم يحضن.
There's a verse in the Quran, Allah says that
No, listen.
Listen to how he,
Well, I just can't.
marry a woman,
What's your name again, bro?
listen to how he explained it.
Sorry, Cameron. Do you mind if I just, because to other people they might not know what I'm trying to
Look at these people, yeah?
So what, let me just
Or
finish
watching
what
him
I'm
and
saying,
really
then you
listening to
come
him.
back.
Yeah?
In the Sunnah, there's a hadith.
Okay.
I'm
There we
trying to
go.
say, this is very important, yeah? And I want all Muslims to be aware of this. The reason why we don't have sexual intercourse with 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds or whatever is not because of puberty. Wait a minute, what did you say? It's not because of puberty.
Listen,
because
yeah?
that verse in the
It's
Quran
not because of puberty.
actually says lam yahid. They never had puberty before.
See?
You
Before.
can't go
They
around-
never had it before.
The reason why
See how
we
he
have
twisted the
sexual
verse, changed it
intercourse
altogether? Like, it's not even that.
is because of
The
heart.
verse, I've got it here.
The hadith says la
Okay, I just read it to you guys, yeah?
I said before. The reason
Right?
why
And he
is because of
explained
the
it.
Sunnah, not because of the
It's
Quran.
women that they haven't had a period, but they don't know they're actually pregnant. I mean, now we can test, but years ago we couldn't test. Do you understand? Simple.
Wait a minute, what did you say? British government? Yes, the British government. I believe that the way they formalize the age of consent is flawed. Let me tell you why.
Yeah. It's actually flawed in not just the Quran, it's flawed in the system in this country and all that, just to...
Carlos, give me a second, please. I beg you, yeah? You know
Okay.
in Islam, it's haram to have sexual intercourse with anyone who you'll cause harm to. That's why we don't have a problem with the age of consent, let's say, yeah? In this country, a 30-year-old man can have sexual intercourse with a centenarian.
Let's just forward this bit because he's talking about this country.
Revitalized has sexual intercourse with 100 women.
It's just some really
You're not
vile
allowed
things.
to marry someone based on puberty. If you do that, I will take my point back. It doesn't.
Look, he said you can't marry someone.
Whether it be a
The rich and
hundred
beautiful
women,
between
you're
Quran. But I'll tell him something. I find a verse is even better. Because Allah, this is chapter 65 verse 1. This just look how beautiful the Quran is. Look. First of all, Allah just Ya ayyuhan nabi idha talaqtumun nisa. Okay? An-nisa. Okay? Nisa means women. Okay? Which is women, adults. Yeah? Not al-fatayat, not al-wildan, nothing. Nisa. Talaqtumun nisa. Okay? Okay. Oh, your Prophet. When people divorce the women divorce the women. I don't want to finish the chapter. It's just I want to show you that women. So we marry women and we divorce women. We don't marry kids and then divorce kids. Okay. That means the kids, it wouldn't be in Surah Al-Talaq. Wouldn't be from the verse he actually came up with. It wouldn't be there because we're not supposed to. Okay. Okay. Let's just go to something else. Sorry. Look, when Allah talks about the kids, that they're actually not adults, you can tell. The Quran tells, okay? This is the orphans that people have their money. Let's say I've got orphans, they have a will, okay? I'm not supposed to give it to them until they get to get a certain age, okay? This is chapter 4, verse 6. وَابْتَلُوا الْيَتَامَى حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغُوا النِّكَاحِ, this is puberty, yeah? فَإِنْ آنَسْتُمْ مِنْهُمْ رُشْدًا, wisdom, maturity, you understand? فَادْفَعُوا إِلَيْهِمْ أَمْوَالَهُم, which is here. You should test the orphans when they reach puberty. As soon as you find them mature enough, give them their property. See, this is about inheritance, okay? He tells you that is the age. This is it. It says it all. It says it all. Look how the kids are said in the Quran, right? Kids, like babies and kids, like the guy wants to marry. This is chapter 4, verse 98. Yeah. Surah An-Nisa. Right. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just I just want to show you what it is. What Allah says comparing Nisa wal-Wildan. إلا المستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان لا يستطيعون حيلة ولا يهتدون سبيلا. Okay. Exempted are the weak man, women, and children. Children. Okay. We don't marry children. We marry women. Nisa. You understand that? So you shouldn't be talking about it at all. See? Not possessing this one, nor the means to find a way out. I can go on forever. You understand that? I can go on forever. What the Quran says about the Quran actually encourage having marriage, you know. But let's listen to him.
30, yeah? It's because of the harm, both psychological and physical, that you'll be causing them. Now I dare you now, you're a Quran alone guy, I dare you to find one verse in the Quran where it says you're not allowed to marry someone based on harm, or you're not allowed to have sexual intercourse based on harm, or you're not allowed to marry someone based on puberty. If you do that, I will take my point back. It doesn't. So that makes it halal then. It makes it halal. So if you're a Quran alone, you're allowed to have sexual intercourse with 5-year-olds.
See what he says?
It tells you.
Where does it say that?
Yeah, it tells you what you should marry. Because Allah said, calls it Nisa, doesn't say children. Okay? Nisa, that means the adult. It's an adult female, it's Nisa. Okay? Not a kid, not a 6-year-old, not a 9-year-old, not an 11-year-old. She has to be mature, clear in the Quran, she has to be mature, okay? And she has to reach puberty, that's first. Has to be puberty, okay? and then she has to be mature. Two of them. Two things. Okay? A 5-year-old, a 6-year-old is not mature. Okay? And didn't reach puberty. A 9-year-old, the same. Even if you tell me an 11-year-old reached puberty, is she mature enough to decide? Okay? It's not up to her parents to give her away. It's her choice. In her head, she's not mature enough to get married. If she's not mature enough to actually have money, how can she be mature enough to actually have babies and get married and husband and look after a house? She can't even look after money. You understand? How can a person who is not even mature to have money, okay, can run a house? Or can do whatever things you're thinking about? You understand that? It just makes no sense. That's not Islam. That's not Allah, man. You're reading from other books. That's all it is. A sunnah, it's not sunnah. It's hadith. Call it as it is, hadith. It's hadith, which is stories. It's just stories, that's all. You're actually saying that the Quran allows us to marry kids, but the hadith, which is, that's what you follow, tells us not to. So that's like a contradiction right there. So you're actually opening a big door for atheists and Christians and all that to actually tell you that your Quran has a flaw, okay? Because it's not complete. It's not complete. It's not a complete book. So whatever you say, the Quran always ends up to be not a complete book. You see, and that's really, I don't understand how a person who says La ilaha illallah and reads the Quran and think this way will come up with these excuses. I just don't know. It just confuses me. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.